Welcome to practice. We're going to begin on the floor and take a blanket. If you fold it on the long edge or have it as wide as your mat, it'll support better your thigh bone. And we're going to even tuck the ends under so you really feel that the thigh bones are supported. So you don't have that pull that we can get in Supta Baddha Konasana. But rather can relax into that hip opening. So soles of the feet together, knees out wide, and support under your thighs. Tuning in to the flow of your breath and energy. Feeling your ribs move, where your body is a little tense. Can it relax? We're going to interlock the fingers softly and we're going to press the palm up to the ceiling to start with and just give the hands and the fingers a stretch. And then slowly take your arms overhead. Excuse me. And as you do that, try to keep space for your throat and your neck. And see if the arms go towards or onto the floor. And that will be a shoulder movement or restriction that determines how far the arms move. And then with the eyes closed, paying attention to what might be difficult here, to what might feel like a really lovely stretch. Find your breath. Good, and then we'll bring the arms back up so you can interlock your fingers the other way, other index finger on top. And at first, we'll just hold the palms up towards the ceiling, enjoying the stretch in your fingers, your hands, forearm. And then we'll slowly take the arms back towards the floor. And paying attention to how that movement can happen without impeding the flow of energy through the neck and the throat. So we keep spaciousness. Reaching out through the palms. Enjoying the movement of breath in the ribs. And then releasing. Release your hands. Lovely. Release your leg. We're going to bring the leg into the chest. Rocking a little bit from side to side. Notice as you do that, pelvis sort of naturally walks away from the rib cage. We get more space for the lower back. Beautiful. Because we're going to press the lower back now to the floor. Stay holding on to your knees, but have the arms straight. pressing your lower back. Good. And then we're going to try and roll the body a little from side to side. But relax your neck. Ooh, hard to do. Press the lower back and relax your neck. There's a gentle call to action here for the core of the body. Feel that switching on the core, keeping the neck relaxed. The neck muscles so often want to get in on the action and be helpful. We end up with tension there. Great. Now, if you let go of your arms, just take them out from your shoulders, thumbs up. Nice and relaxed in your neck, your shoulders. Let's push the feet away a little, but press your lower back. So you're really connecting the lower back skin to the floor. Push the feet away and then back into the chest so that you relax more muscles. Good. And we're going to do that with the breath. As you exhale, connect the skin of your back to the floor. Press the feet away. Doesn't have to be all the way to straight. And then relax. Inhale. Let the belly expand. Good. Exhale, pressing the skin of the lower back. Feet press away from you. And then we'll inhale and relax. A couple more. Are you able to discern keeping your neck relaxed?
There it is.
Nice work. All right, let's take the knees back into that position over the hip and arms straight up from the shoulders, and a little bit of our cross body work. So left leg away from your right arm towards the floor overhead. And again, these don't have to be big movements. Try to press the skin of your lower back and see how you go, keeping your neck and throat really relaxed. Good, and breathing. And then hug your knees into your chest again and rocking a little bit from side to side. Good, lengthening your lower back. Mm. And then we're going to roll up to sitting. Reach over to your right side and just slide your arm out along the floor to support. And at the same time, we're going to roll the front of the torso up towards the ceiling. And see if you can keep your shoulder blades down towards the waist. The neck feels wrong. And keep reaching just as far as the body is comfortable with stretching. Finding your satisfying breath. Good. And then coming up and swapping the cross of your legs and start to reach over to your left side. And just reach as far as it feels good in your body, your spine. But we want to keep the tension out of the neck. So draw the shoulder blades back. Roll the heart towards the ceiling. Breathing deeply. Nice work. And coming up to center. We're going to make a spinal wave movement forward and make that movement with your chin as the focus. So at the front of the body, it's the chin, but at the back of the body, it's the occiput, the base of the skull. So lead with the chin forward and with the base of the skull flat. And let the spine follow. And then in the other direction, press forward with the base of the skull and press back with the chin. Notice the feeling along the spine. I'm going to try to keep the chin and the occiput, those points of focus, parallel to the floor, reaching to the horizon, forward and back. Good. And then we're going to do side to side. And same thing, we're going to keep the neck as the focus here. So we try to keep the neck on a parallel plane to the floor and reaching to the horizon and letting the spine follow. All the way along the spine. Flow of movement, energy, breath. And then forward virasana. Look forward at your hand, and we're going to bring the elbows out wide, the nose and the chest just above the floor until you're laying onto your tummy. Come into upward facing dog pose. So you might lift up a little, so you're on your belly and you've got your elbows bent. Maybe you can be up on straight arms, up onto your knees. Good. And then we're going to press up into all fours and take a couple of cat stretches here. Spine up, spine down. Tuning into that feeling of flow in the body. Energetic movement of the breath. Beautiful. Downward facing dog pose. And come into a loose plank. So in other words, bring the shoulders forward and then press back your heels to the floor and let your head hang down. Loose plank, shoulders forward, knees can be a little bit bent. Doesn't have to be straight all the way. And then pressing the heels back, letting the head hang down. And then knees to the floor and back into forward virasana. So we're going to repeat that sequence. I'm going to look for that feeling of flow. The breath, energy through the body, and the flowing, supple movement of your body. Inhale, looking forward at your hand. As you exhale, elbows out wide. Come onto your tummy. Good, elbows in. And lift up just as high as feels good for your back. Beautiful. Cat stretch. All fours, arching your spine up. Arching your spine. Again. Tuck your toes under. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog pose. Good. Come forward with the shoulders into a loose kind of plank position. Press the finger prints And then press back into your downward facing dog. Forward into a loose, relaxed plank position, strong arm. Downward facing dog pose. Press the heels and then knees to the floor. Forward virasana. 2 more cycles. Inhale, looking forward. Elbows out wide. Be resting onto your tummy for a moment. Parallel legs, elbows in. Good. Lift up. Straightening your arms to where it's comfortable for your back. Lengthening your back. Pressing into all fours. Arching the spine up and down and finding that energetic flow of movement along the spine. So the hands are working here. We want to press the fingerprints. Elbows are a little bit bent. Good. Tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog pose. And in a relaxed way, shoulders come forward. Soft plank position. Strong arms though. Strong hands. Back to downward facing dog pose. Press the heels. Soft plank position. Knees might be a little bit bent. Good. Downward facing dog pose. And then knees to the floor and forward virasana. Feel the flow of breath in the back of your body, the back ribs. Feel the shoulders broad, space around your neck. Good. Last sequence, we'll look forward, elbows out wide. Bring the tummy to rest on the floor, elbows in, elbows back, legs parallel. And lift up. Start to straighten your arms to where your back is enjoying your back bend. Beautiful. Press up into all fours. Arching the spine up and down. Finding your strong hand, resting your fingerprints. Elbows a little bit bent. Good. Tucking your toes under. Downward facing dog pose. Letting the head just hang down. Press the heels. And then soften into a slightly bent legged plank position. Downward facing dog pose. And then a slightly bent leg. Downward facing dog pose. And then knees to the floor. And this time, rest your hand beside you. Child's pose. Feeling that energetic expression in your body. Finding the breath. Good. And then lifting up. And we're going to come up to standing. You might be able to do that by tucking your toes under. And coming up without using your hands, or use your hands and your wisdom. Feet underneath. Tadasana. We're going to bend the knees just a little and lift up onto the hip toes, or the balls of the feet. And we're going to make tiny little circles with the knees. And then let your upper body really be the counter balance to that movement. And then go in the other direction. Nice work. Back to center. We're going to reach down to the right as far as you can reach with your right hand down your leg. Some people can probably reach their knees if they have long arms. Good. And just noticed you tip forward a little bit, looking at the floor. So lift the heart. Mm. Even feel what it's like in your neck to look up at the ceiling. We don't want to strain the neck, but just exploring that movement. Good. And then we're going to use the core of the body to feel that that works when you lift your torso. Ah, good. And then we'll reach down the left side and really reach. Try and get your fingers down towards your knee, or just some people go beyond. Good. Check in with your torso, lifting the heart upward towards the ceiling, and explore what it's like for your neck to look up at the ceiling. We want to keep the neck nice and long. And feeling the core of the body as you lift your torso. Nice. We're going to take the legs out wide enough for Trikonasana, triangle pose. And that means your feet are about as wide as your legs are long. Turn your right foot out at 90 degrees and your left foot in. I remember being a beginner and not really knowing how long my leg was. It takes a while to learn these things. We're going to reach the torso out over the right leg for Trikonasana. Don't go too far. So just take a really relaxed reach, because we're going to work on that turning of the rib. The left rib back, left hip back. Good. Feel like the heart, instead of shining down at the floor, let it shine out. Let it shine up. Beautiful. And feel how is it for your neck to look up at the ceiling. And if for some reason that feels like a strain in your neck, don't do it. So just look forward. It becomes easier for the neck the more we can move the hip, the ribs. The neck doesn't really have to turn that far if we can get a big turn in this midsection of the body. Beautiful. And lastly, take your left arm up. And then we'll try our reaching. Now we've made lots of space for the neck. So reaching your right rib, maybe your hand reaches further down the neck. Trikonasana, and find your breath. And the flow. Beautiful. And then coming. Nice work. Swap your feet to the second side. Just put your right hand on your hip, and we'll take the left hand down, but let's not overreach to begin with. We want to find that lovely movement in the midsection of your torso. We'll roll the right hip back, the right rib back, the left ribs forward, and shine the heart outward and upward. And then see how it feels to look up at the ceiling. How does your neck feel? Try to keep your shoulder blades towards your back blade. Beautiful. And so if that's all feeling okay, take your right arm up for Trikonasana. And then we have the opportunity to keep that lovely opening of the torso and reach by lengthening the left rib, the left waist, and reaching into your posture. Checking in with the neck. We want to feel that the flow doesn't get stuck there. Lengthening and feeling the flow, expression of reaching. Good. And then inhale. Mm. Nice work. Bring the feet to face forward. Let's take a forward bend. Toes in, heels out. We'll take the hands at the hip. Make a little back bend shape. And feel the shoulder blades drop down and how long back of the neck is. And like we were doing the spinal waves, lead with your chin, the torso forward. And then when you go as far forward or as far down as your body wants to move, just let your head relax so the back of the neck is long. It's easier, of course, if you've got a lot of forward movement, your head is facing down to the floor, then gravity can help. You can just let go. If you're leaning more forward with your torso, keep reaching the top of the head away from your sit bones. You might be up on your fingertips under your shoulder blades or flat hands or whatever support. You might have your hands on your leg. Lifting the kneecaps, the quadriceps, the sit bone. Letting your head shake a little, nod a little. Take the shoulder blades back and feel the chest expand. Feeling the flow of breath, energy. Good. We're going to drop the hips, so bend the knees and drop the hips down a little. And lift the pelvic floor, the front core of the body. Looking forward now. Turn your toes out. Balance on your heels, turn your toes out. Good. Keep the hips dropped. Keep the internal muscular support, so pelvic floor, core of the body, and lift the torso. Let's bring the arms up by the ears. Draw the shoulder blades down. And feel this powerful stand. Grounded, supported, lengthening. Flow of the breath. Beautiful. That's as energetic as we're going to get in this practice. So you can wiggle your feet in. We're going to sit. So think about the movements you make as you maneuver from that position to sitting, where the body might feel awkward or don't quite have the easy transition. Some parts are difficult, but appreciating your movement as it is this morning. We're going to sit up onto a triple folded blanket. Sometimes when we move, it feels difficult, it feels awkward. And it's so good to pay attention to whatever the feeling is of movement. Helps us recognize when we need to quieten down or rest or rev up a little. We're going to make a forward bend. And if you're uncomfortable in cross legs, have your legs out, straight up. Hands behind your hips. We're going to explore that forward movement and where it feels good and easeful, and where it feels resistant. So good. And what we're going to do is wave forward and back. Maybe choose a different part of the spine to focus on with this wave. The heart center. the breastbone forward. And that middle part of the spine between the shoulder blades back. And let your whole spine follow. There's another direction. You really do your head in. So change direction. Feeling the heart center of the body spacious, mobile, flowing. We're going to hold the most forward direction that your body allows and put your hands where they support you in that position. So you can keep them behind your hips. If you're further forward, maybe out on the floor in front. You can even reach them out a long way. I'll draw the shoulder blades back. And breathing deeply. Oh. Good. And then we're going to lift up just enough to change the cross of the legs. Or you might massage your legs a little if you're straight-legged. And let's go again. We'll take the breastbone or the heart center forward as far as you can. Take your hands to where they support. Feeling the flow of the breath and the spine energetically lengthening. Good. And then releasing and coming back up to you. Sitting up on your blanket. Let's take the soles of the feet together and bring your heels in as close to your body as your knees are comfortable with. And it might be, sometimes it's the hips that really need that extra compassion. So it might be that you've got your feet further out in your body. But if you can have them in nice and close, and just cradle your knees with your hands, so wherever your knees land in space. So depending on the shape of your socket, they might be up high, they might be down lower. Hopefully hands can hold. Good, and feel your spine length. And we're going to try and wave the spine again, forward and back, in this position. So a different set of challenges. See if you can really tune in and appreciate those challenges, the awkwardness in the body, the ease in the body, and the flow of breath. Forward bends are pulling. We heat up big muscle mass, and then when we take a moment to rest, we lose that heat, we cool down. Good, and we're going to hold, reaching the torso as far forward as you can. And you can stay supporting under your leg, or it might feel fine to let go and let the knees move towards the floor. But we'll keep the feeling of the bones of the spine embedding forward, the shoulder blades reaching back, the back of the neck long. Good. And then releasing. Take your blanket. I'm going to put that under the shoulder blade. So better if it's on the long edge. Just accommodate the shape of the body better. Shoulder blade. Now make sure that your front and back of the neck can be equal in length. If it feels like the back of the neck is short, the throat is stretched, then your blanket is too high for you. So you can take it out altogether or make it lower, or you could put an extra blanket under you. Just important to get that the relationship of height correct for your body, and it's about how it feels for you. Arms out from the shoulders, and let's put the feet back into that Baddha position. And taking some deep breaths here and relax. Letting go tension. Feel the flow in your body. Breath, blood, energy. The vitality and aliveness. Feeling of being relaxed and all the potential of movement. Allowing and allowing the neck to relax, the middle back to relax, the body to relax. We're going to bring the knees together and roll very carefully. Take your time rolling off your blanket and lay back down so you're flat onto the floor with your back, arms out from your shoulders, inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Lift the hips, they go right, and knees go left. And we're just going to lay there. In the spirit of tuning in to the body. Feeling the satisfying connection to breath. Use your core awareness so you can feel what strength available when you pick up your leg. Hips go left, knees go right, and we're just going to lay there for a moment. You can look over your left arm. Finding the breath. Feeling the satisfied. Feel the core strength available when you lift your leg. Hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. Ah, beautiful. And coming up to sitting when you're ready. If you had time to lay out for Shavasana, that would be a really nice thing to do. Hands in front of your heart. Feeling your heart of the flow. Namaste.